And that's all we're talking about. That's all we're reading about. How closely are you following the wild stuff, especially after what went on over the weekend?
I mean, we all see what happens, but for me, I don't really particularly seek it out. We all have phones, we all have social media, so we see it. But I just kind of focus on what we have here.
Honest reaction when you saw the Luka AD trade?
Yeah, I mean, thought it was fake. I didn't think it was real. We were having a poker tournament when it happened, and so we were all together, and we just kind of didn't believe it.
Now, with you guys, the start 12-3 start obviously is in the rear view, but there still is a belief that team is in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. What makes you believe?
I mean, you've seen it happen. Over a 15-game stretch is not a fluke. And I think we have the personnel to do it. It's just, can we be consistent and keep putting together wins? I think, we've had a bunch of wins, losses, and so how can you string together some wins? And I think we won, 3 out of 4 now, and we're 1-0 in February. So just look at it like that. And I think we're a better team just in terms of how we play on the road, and we only have 3 home games in February, so it'd be good for us.
Better on the road than at home, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Just based on?
I just feel like we all kind of just know it's just us on the road, and everybody wants us to lose. And so we find a way to come together, I think, more on the road. And, you've seen it when we won at Houston early in the year, when we won at OKC, Boston. So I think we come together more on the road.
Now that you've seen more of a sample size of Quinten, what's maybe stood out or even surprised you a little bit?
He's definitely getting more comfortable. I think he's getting better defensively. But I think his floor spacing does a lot for us, especially now with Draymond out there too, which is Draymond can be more of a playmaker and stuff like that. And so obviously you saw when Gary was starting, they started to put the center on Gary and some wings on Quinten. And I think with Draymond now they can't do that as much because of Draymond's playmaking skills. And so I think it's been great for him. And I think, he's embraced the opportunity and just trying to get better every day.
With floor spacing, obviously that's a lot about, him being able to stretch it, shoot the ball from three-point range as a 7-footer. But he seems to have a really, keen awareness of the floor, too, and his passing has really stood out. What have you noticed about maybe his passing from that center position?
Yeah, I think besides his shooting, I think he understands. I think he's learning when to roll, when to pop. I think he's starting to take advantage of mismatches when they want to switch. I think he had Anthony Black on him yesterday and drove him from the top of the key and, had a right-hand hook. But I think he's just doing a better job of just feeling out the game, and he's always doing something. He's being proactive, whether he's trailing the play or he's in the dunker to start the play. And so I think that's what you need from your bigs is to create action, and I think he's doing a great job of it.
Brandon, is there a certain anxiousness or antsiness that can be felt around a trade deadline in a locker room?
Of course there can be. After seeing the Luka trade, you just, everybody's not safe, right? It's just how it is now. And but I think for me, how I look at it is just if I'm here, I just, want to be present in the moment, and whoever's with me here is who we're going to roll with. And I think if you get too outside yourself and think about possibilities, case scenarios, it just clogs mentally what's the main goal, and it's the next game.
I was asking Steve about the challenges when he switches his lineup, and if you're in the starting rotation and then you get moved down to the bench, how difficult is that learning the guys that you're next to if there's not a lot of consistency there?
I feel like it's not a matter of who you're with. I think it's just how you get yourself ready. I think the way I get ready for a game is different if I'm starting than if I'm coming off the bench, how much time I have to, get warmed up. I don't think it's a matter of, who I'm out there with. I think at this point in the year I've played with each and every one of the guys in some different type of combination. And so, I think the minutes look a little different between if you start or you come off the bench, but I don't see much difference for me.
So, and that's a good point. You said you've been here long enough that you've played with everybody, but when you first came, did you find challenges with that, or did you find it to just be a simple process?
Yeah, I think for me, when I first came off the bench, in-season tournament game in Minnesota, I didn't think there was much. Steph was out, Clay and Draymond had got ejected, and so I felt like there was a lot of, leeway to just kind of make something happen out there. But then when I started starting with Clay and Steph and Draymond, you kind of, you take a back seat to that, especially as a rookie. But now that I'm in my second year, I just kind of feel comfortable being out there with anybody and doing what I do.
Is it easy to be Steph's wingman, like keep his pace and stuff?
Yeah, I think it is. I think I play with good pace, so whoever I'm out there with, I just try to increase that for our team as a whole. And I think when I do that, it rubs off on other guys.
You've made a few consecutive starts now. What's it been like for you, and what's the learning program been like, the learning curve been like for you?
Yeah, I think, it was definitely a little unexpected at first when I made my first start. You kind of find out, 2 hours before the game, and you just kind of, you kind of get thrown in the fire. And it's been a learning curve with ups and downs the last couple weeks, and but I feel like I'm learning so much. Like every game is a different challenge, different players. Like I now see LeBron and AD, and I've seen Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and I see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and all of these guys are better at different areas, right? So for me defensively, that means where do I got to be in the pick and roll? What do you live with? What do you want to take away? It's not been easy. And I've just been trying to learn every game. I watch the film back immediately after the game. I watch it back the next couple of days with the staff, and you're just trying to learn as much as possible.
What have you learned specifically about playing in the paint in the NBA? Because obviously it's different from any other league in the paint.
Yeah, it's just physical. Guys have size. Guys are athletic, and I've last couple of games, I definitely think I could have done a better job, finishing in the paint, and defensively, got to keep protecting the rim and grabbing the board. So no, it's a man's game. It's very physical. I think I'm up to the task, but I also think I'm learning, as they say. So it's kind of that mixture of knowing where to be and then just keep playing hard.
Quinten, which kind of going off of that, which player that you've defended or have been on the court at the same time with was your welcome to the NBA moment?
Welcome to the NBA moment. I don't know if I have like one moment. In my first game versus the Celtics, where I played, I don't know if you want to call it real minutes. Like I played the whole fourth quarter. Luke Cornett kind of dunked on me, which was like unfortunate.
Wasn't kind of.
That's just unnecessary, Raymond. I don't know. I was like, okay, like in college, this probably wouldn't have happened. But yeah, that's kind of a while ago now. Since then, it's just a lot of failures, some successes, and it's just been a grind.
Quinten, what was it like playing alongside Draymond for the first time?
I actually really enjoyed that. We have played it a little bit. I said I never played with Steph, but I have played a little with Draymond, and I think we mesh well together in a way. He's a great playmaker, and that as a five in modern day basketball, it's part of your role to like kind of create offense, whether that be screening, passing, and he takes away some of that pressure, right? Like that's part of my inexperience where sometimes I don't know exactly where to be, and I'm talking offensively right now, and he just kind of brings flow to the offense, and then I think I help him by spacing the floor, and I do think we matched well yesterday, and then defensively he just gives me a lot of confidence. Because he's just that back line. Like when I'm up in a pick and roll, I know that he's behind me, and I know that if I make a mistake, that he'll be there to help me out, and vice versa. I try to, when he's up there and I'm in the back line, I try to talk to him and tell him that I'm there to rotate and whatever. So yeah, I've enjoyed it so far, and glad to have him back.
Going back to training camp, Draymond's spoken really highly of you. As basically an extra coach on the floor, how much is he kind of talking with you like last night as far as helping you out where to go, but also, as you said, like the confidence too? How much is he coaching you up on the floor?
A lot, man. I mean, he, like off the court and timeouts, when we're on the bench, like he shows me clips and he tells me the truth, which is often what you need. You know, like Draymond doesn't wind around it. I don't know if that's how you say it, but wind about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whine about it. Like he tells me, like, you know, I need to do this better, and you need to do this harder, and you know, being a rookie isn't an excuse. You need to be better, and I appreciate that. And yeah, like I said, it's good to have him back.
And then what coach do you really kind of study film with maybe the most?
I mean, like it goes back to like Santa Cruz, where like their whole staff, like me and Ben, Coach Ben, like we did a lot, and back here, like I talked to all of them, to be honest. I wouldn't, you know, call one name. Like my guy that I work with, individual, is Everett. Like we kind of watch our film, but that all is overseen by Seth Cooper, who does the player development, so he's very involved. And then I've been talking to the assistant coaches like Jerry Stackhouse. He talks to me a lot. Terry, he talks to me, and then even, you know, Steve, Coach Kerr, like he even. You know, we talk. So it's really like it's really like one big thing. So I wouldn't, you know, it's not one person.
I'm curious to know what your strategy is as getting better, because I know it comes at you fast, being thrown into the starting lineup. So teams that you face more than once, and particularly your position, are you remembering what that person did and then practicing for that re-encounter with that person, so you probably can get the better of them or score more rebounds? So like what's your strategy in that for guys that particular guys that you face?
Yeah, like I think you said it perfectly. I mean, every big in this league does different things at a higher level, and you kind of like play towards that, right? Like some guys are very fast, like the roll out of the screens very fast and trying to get onto the rim to be lob threats. Well, that means that, you know, I got to take that away. I got to be back with those guys. And some guys like to pick and pop, so, you know, you got to be out on the shooters. And you learn and you watch a lot of films. And now we're a few games in, so now we're gonna see some of the teams that I've already faced again. So try to watch that film back and learn from previous mistakes.
Do you take notes, like specifically at home, or that you kind of remember when you get ready to face it? Like, I remember you did this, or something like that, or notes?
I don't have a
home?
notebook that I keep. Maybe that would be a good idea. But, you know, you try to memorize and kind of, I think you can't be too stuck in the past. But, like, now we're facing Utah, so I'll definitely, you know, watch back some of the clips from that game.
So you saw Anthony Davis a few games ago. You play the Lakers 2 days from now. He won't be there. What do you make of that?
Well, that's pretty nice that he won't be there. Yeah, I mean, I'm learning the NBA is a crazy place, and nothing much else. It's just it's really the wild, wild west.